Iron Galaxy has combined two of my favorite games of all time in Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 3+4. This Day 1 Game Pass launch combines every level from both titles, adds in a few new ones, and dozens of skaters while mostly nailing every trick it attempts. I do kinda miss the open-ended nature of 4's career mode though, but hey, let's get into all of it in the XboxEra review of Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 3+4. Tony Hawk games, skate tapes full of crazy tricks and bails. These are pure nostalgia for old bastards like me. Some of my fondest memories of playing games are going through Tony Hawk on Dreamcast, the original One More Run game. The first 3 entries in the series were 2-minute time trials full of ollies, grinds, grabs, and kickflips. 3+4 looks and feels like what I remember, but Iron Galaxy has done an excellent job recreating these classic titles with a new graphics engine that harkens back to what my mind's eye thinks it would have seen. As you start the game, there's a basic tutorial to greet you. It helps both new and returning old bastards like myself either get back into the game or just start to develop their Tony Hawk muscle memory. This is a game all about stringing combos together for high scores, completing increasingly wacky objectives, and listening to great music. The music, though, is one area of contention as the soundtrack is mostly new, with some returning tracks and many missing from the original. And outside a few duds, I found it to be stellar overall, carrying me through this whirlwind of a very late review. Pro Skater 3 was the classic 2-minute dash to complete as many objectives as possible, but 4 saw the timer go away, instead giving you unlimited time to find and complete each level's objectives with a full story mode. While 3 remains largely the same, 4 has been converted by Iron Galaxy to match the faster structure that the series began with. If that doesn't sound appealing to you, there are various minute options, including all the way up to a full hour per level in the settings menu that lets you just kinda go at your own pace, and while this does trivialize the high score challenges, it makes everything else way more approachable for the average player. Alongside the increased timer are a series of pro challenges for once you've completed all the basics, and these bring back a lot of the harder to do objectives from 4, and I think in the end it does strike a solid balance between the old and the new. Because in this one there is no story to speak of. You will go from level to level trying to complete every objective. As you do, more levels open up and you'll earn cash to buy secret characters, new looks, and more. There's always a carrot on the stick in some form of unlock. Every character has stats to increase. There are dozens of different looks to find, as well as various skate videos and more. The breadth of content is staggering, and 100%ing this game is going to take you a very long time. But that's fine, because Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 3+4 feels incredible. The controls are tight, and I rarely felt cheated by the game's physics system. There are a seemingly never-ending amount of various jumps, grinds, and tricks to pull off the game's hundreds of objectives. While some of those are new, most objectives return from the original title, and you should never feel bad about Googling how to complete something that's frustrating you. A is your jump, aka ollie button. Even there's just a little bit of depth to it where a single tap gets you a little more air, or a double tap before you let go of A gets you even more. X is your kickflip button with each direction assigned to a different trick. Y grinds, B grabs, again, every direction's a different grab. You can tap up and down or down and up to manual to chain tricks together. Press the right trigger to do a shift. There's so much more depth than it appears at first glance, and when you see the professionals scoring in the millions, once you've gotten good enough, your head will explode. It took me a few minutes for my fingers to feel right, but once it clicked, there's just nothing like a good Tony Hawk game, and 3+4 is a great one. I would of course recommend using the D-pad, as it just ends up feeling way more precise than an analog stick ever could. And while the gameplay is as good as ever, I do have some issues. The loss of the career mode in 4 hurts, and while the retrofitted levels for the 2-minute timer are very well crafted, they do lose a lot of the personality in some of the fun missions that 4 originally had. I don't know that it would have been worth the effort, but some form of the original story mode would have gone a long way for me. The overall package, while lovingly crafted and bursting with content, does feel kind of just like a series of patched together levels and not like one cohesive product. It's not going to matter for those who haven't played the original titles, as what's on offer is still an incredible amount of fun. It just stings for me as someone with such fond memories of the original releases. And I did play primarily on Xbox Series X, and the performance was perfect. The game's clean with great texture work paired with a stable 60 FPS. And I did have sometimes when objectives were completing, the audio dipped out a little bit. It felt intentional, but kind of poorly mixed. It really didn't happen often, but when it did, I felt just a little taken out of the flow as an animation played, the audio died down, came back, but I was normally still like mid-combo, which I would then lose quickly. Wrapping things up, I think Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 3+4 is an excellent reworking of the original games into one massive package, and while I miss the original career mode of 4, this day one Game Pass drop is a game I will be coming back to for a very long time.